Today, most of the startup ideas that are launched around launching an app. So the app will give you capability of doing some mode of action or service that is supposed to either solve a problem or ease a pain. Now, this is what the entrepreneurs will normally tell you when they are doing their slide decks or they are doing their pitches to investors or others. Now, the problem with that is, if you look at statistics, Apple has already got more than close to 2 million apps on their App Store, and Android has close to 3 million. Now, if you ask and if you Google and research, you'll find out that an average person may download in some parts of the world about 40 different apps, and in other parts of the world around 80 different apps. But in the same context, these are also the people, the average people, that will normally use only 8 to around 12 apps. That's what they would use on an average day. So look at the numbers, look at the odds against all of those entrepreneurs who are launching startup ideas that are apps. So the average person has either 2 million apps to choose from if he's an Apple user, or 3 million if he's an Android user. And the fact that he or she is only using on a daily basis just 10 or 12 apps. So how is that even a compelling argument, right? You are saying that the marketplace, the customers that you are targeting, the ones for whom you are creating this amazing startup idea, your app that he or she is supposed to use, the chances of that actually happening is 10 to 2 million if you're an Apple user, or 10 to 3 million if you're an Android user. That's a huge odds to basically fight against. Now, the other problem is that most of the entrepreneurs, when they're asked about, okay, so how are you going to run your business? And most of them don't have a very serious revenue model. Their business proposition or commercial model is all about running the business on investor money. Why? Because all of them have already decided that the only way that they are going to make money for themselves and for the investors is by that very big famous exit, right? Now, those exits, how will they happen if you're going to run out of money and your business is no longer active? That is the reason why we have such large failures, because startup entrepreneurs are launching business ideas to have exits. And those exits don't come. Why? Because you run out of steam. You run out of investor funds. Why not launch businesses that have more sustainable revenue models so that you can run your business on revenues and not just investor money? And the fact that you're already fighting against an odd called 10 times the possibility of you succeeding versus close to 2 million times that you would fail. So I really want people who are launching new ideas to, number one, be very clear about how they're going to run their business, which means how are they going to make money. If their business is all about year 1, year 2, year 3, primarily dominated commercial models and business plans that are completely screaming out loud that this business is only running on investor money, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble sooner than you can imagine. Because every economic downturn in any location or hemisphere of the planet, and those investors are going to back out because, it's recession time. There's an economic turmoil, and you're going to run out of steam to keep your business, your startup business running. Because of you, the entrepreneur, not thinking of these things very clearly when you launch your idea, this becomes a major challenge. Now, you also need to understand that most of you rush into things very fast. The time scales of you coming up with an idea, validating the idea, launching the business, raising funds is months, and in some cases just over a year or so. But you need to understand, if you want to have a successful startup business idea which can run as a successful business, you need to spend some more time. I know most of you are in a hurry because, it's all about getting it out there and doing it before anybody else does it. But that's not as important as making something that actually sustains and survives the economic issues, the market issues, adoption issues, etc. Because if you have to learn by example, go with Colonel Sanders of KFC. He tried his recipe more than 1,004 times before it was accepted, and he became the famous KFC guy. And that was over a number of years. I'm not asking you to spend those 20, 30 odd years. I'm saying spend at least a few years trying to make sure that what you're doing has legs not to stand, but to run. Most of you are so eager to get your business up and going that the only thing you want to do is get it standing. And then after that, once things start moving and shaking, guess what? You crumble and your business collapses. 90% failures is because people are obviously not doing things they need to do normally well, and hence when they try to do other things which are exceptional, they end up failing. So you really need to spend more time on your idea. You need to make sure your business model is correct. You need to be completely certain about where your revenue is going to come from. And please do not create businesses that run on investor money. Maybe year one, okay, but not from year 2 onwards, because every time investor money dries out, you dry out, because the life out of your business is being sucked out. So don't do that to yourself, because every time you fail, you basically make investors lose money, and most importantly, you make young people who have started their careers in your startup company lose jobs, and those people have to go through depression and a very tough time. It's completely unfair. It's completely uncalled for. Your sense of immaturity and lack of responsibility leads to young people going through depression and looking for new jobs in a world, in an economic situation where already recession and unemployment is so high. So please spare some more time in trying to validate your ideas, and spend more time, invest more time in creating sustainable revenue models for your startup idea.